This is a question on drug and mental health issues. This area, as well as everywhere else, is suffering from an epidemic of drug addiction and mental health crises. What are your thoughts on dealing with these growing, often interrelated problems?
The drug and mental health issue is something I'd venture every family of any size in the audience has had problems with. We all have, some of your families has that issue. It's I've talked to hundreds of people. Nobody has a good solution yet. It's something you have to work at to try to solve. We have drug and mental health facilities, the county. What is interesting though, we had a homeless camp behind Walmart, Wicklow Way. The county went in there and we cleaned it up. There was about 25 people there, I think, and about 12 when we actually went and did the cleanup. We asked them, can we get you any mental health services, drug addiction services, rehousing services, whatever you need. To a T, except for one lady, they all said no. So if you can't get people services, how do you solve the problem? I think one big thing we need, and I've been lobbying on it, and I've been talking to the board about it. I think we need to send some letters to our federal legislators to try to get some help. When you look, especially mental health, the county, we don't have the funding, we don't have the ability to carry that ball. I think the federal government needs to start mental health facilities, and then we have to have a question as a society, what do we do with people out there with mental health issues? And that is, can you commit them? What's it take to commit them? How do you get them there? I mean, it's something you have to look at very careful. The last thing somebody wants saying, hey, I think Jim Wise needs to go to a mental health facility and get stuck in one. I think your wife is back there looking happy, but anyway, so those facilities are needed desperately. It's a huge problem in Jackson. It's growing. I seen 4 tents on the other side of Pine Grove the other day. So yeah, that's my answer. I think the federal government needs to help out on that, and we have.
I'm going to assume that a separate question will come about the homeless, so I'll address that then. When I think about mental health issues and drug addiction issues, they're certainly not things that haven't touched my own family. My biggest concern on mental health issues right now is actually for our children. There are a lot of children in our community that are suffering from mental health issues, and I think that those go untreated and create problems that cost us more and more money the longer that they move along. Young people that are suffering from mental health issues, and even our elderly, those impact entire families and entire communities. So I think it's a good investment of our money to put into programs like behavioral health that try to address these. This problem came about, when did we defund mental health services? I mean, we really have made a change in the state, I guess, was it 10, 15 years ago? And we're suffering the consequences of that at this point. So I really do believe that we have to have an investment into these programs, not just as they impact our homeless situation, but as they impact our community and our families and our youth. Thank you.
I really appreciate the comments of the 2 previous candidates mentioning that it does affect all of us personally. My stepfather ended up becoming homeless due to his addiction, and he passed away homeless. And so I take it very personally, and I think that what we really need is leaders who don't just say it's a problem, but leaders who inform themselves of what is actually happening out there. We have something called a continuum of care that comes from the federal government, and that funding is so little right now. Amador County received about $200,000, and all that we could afford to do was build a shower at the homeless center. In order to receive funding from the state, we needed to declare a homeless emergency and declare an ordinance in this county. But our Board of Supervisors failed to declare a homeless emergency. And so the Homeless Task Force has been basically left powerless. You cannot do much in this state where so much funding is coming from the state for drug addiction and mental health. if you don't do things like that. You have to inform yourself of what is happening. You have to be bold and take a stand. We can't just say we don't want to deal with it. For mental health, the county has dedicated some money because of all the issues that students faced during COVID times. I currently work for the school district. The county has paid for new counselors to be hired. We're having trouble hiring counselors. We need to put out a special program to bring mental health professionals to Amador County. We keep raising the price that we're willing to pay someone that has a psychology PhD for a behavioral health program. I think it's up to about $250,000 now. So if you know anyone with a PhD in psychology, please bring them here. We need more effort on this, and we need someone on the board who actually cares to follow the issues and to have the information to do something.
This is definitely an issue that hits home. Just a couple of weeks ago, I dealt with a woman that was out in the field at our ranch chasing our horses around. She was dealing with mental health and drug addiction. We were able to talk to her, and she had came here from, she didn't know where she'd come from. She'd been dropped off, but it's definitely hitting home. And you think that we're away from it and that it's over in Jackson. It's really been drifting down and hitting in Plymouth, and we've been affected. Our focus really does need to be on mental health and finding those funds for the health and drug addiction. I believe it was back at Reagan, he defunded the mental health institutes, and that's when before it was a state problem, and now it's dropped down into a county issue, and we just don't have the money and the funds to be dealing and handling with it. I'm hoping we have quite a few different groups of our homeless task force. There's the HEART, ATCAA, Operation Care, Jackson Homeless Outreach. I'm hoping that maybe that we could get them to come together and work as one to maximize our effects, and that we could get the more help for the mental health out there. Thank you.